Welcome to the Fun Dad, Dean and Wife Unfiltered podcast. I am Dean.
And I am Sara.
And we have started this podcast to give a true representation of parenting.
We like to give an honest view of what it is like to parent two young children whilst juggling working life and trying to have a life ourselves.
So what have we been up to this week?
Well, Ruby, our youngest, so she's in reception. She had a kids' party, didn't she, Dean?
Woohoo. Great fun.
Yeah, so normally Dean avoids the kids' parties like the absolute plague. He's like, nah, not going to them, not interested. And that's kind of like my role. But funnily enough, Dean, you came to this one. Why was that?
Well, this one was different because these were good friends of ours. So we knew quite a few people there. So that makes a difference, first of all. And it was at a football or Sutton United football club. And I knew there'd be a bar there. So that always sort of helps with going to the party, doesn't it?
Yeah, so basically you came to this one because there was a bar.
Well, and they were our friends.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, absolutely. But it was just interesting is that you can pick and choose the kids' parties when you want to come, can't you?
Yeah, and it's also easier so the dads can like prop up against the bar and it's easier to kind of gel in with people.
Oh, you sound like such a prick.
Why?
The dads can prop up against the bar.
Yeah, while the kids play, what's wrong with that?
Oh, actually, I did at the end of this party. So they had like a kids entertainer, didn't they? It was really good though. It just meant that all the kids were like busy and having fun. But he was one of those kids entertainers, you know, and they try and get the parents involved. And towards the end, you did actually get up and like dance with the kids, didn't you?
Yeah, I was 4 pints deep. Why?
So you wouldn't have got up and danced if you hadn't had a drink?
No. My social anxiety will not put up with that. I can't dance. I'm the worst dancer.
That is true.
And you don't help. You say I've got no rhythm, so just pretend I have.
I do pretend a lot. Oh, God. Inappropriate. Anyway, but out there, like who attends the kids' parties in your family? Is it... the thing is, though, maybe it's because we've got girls. Like, so generally the girls' parties, you know, they're like pamper parties, girly parties.
It's
Do
not.
you reckon if we had boys and there were football parties, you'd go more?
Maybe, but it's because of how we are. You're like a teacher. You're very extroverted. You could go into a party and basically talk to the brick wall. And I feel like majorly anxious going to this sort of... If I don't know anyone at a kid's party, going in there, taking them in there, I'm all right dropping them off. But if I've got to stand there and just like make chit chat with people I don't know, that is like...
Sometimes you have to drop them. Like you can't, you know, if they're 3-4 years old, in my experience, then the parents would stay at like a party like that.
Yeah, then you'd take them. So if it was like a drop and go, I could take them. But if it was like a drop and stay, you'd take them. And this one this week was our friends, so we both went. It was easy.
Exactly. But it made me think, though, when we came to the party, because some obviously people did drop, some people stayed or whatever. And I was just curious. I was thinking, right, what do you do with your kids at a kids' party? Like, do you drop and leave? Do you stay and have fun? Or do you stay but hate every minute? Right? So I was just curious to see, like, what parents out there thought. Which one do you think was the winner? Don't look. Which one do you think? So it was drop and leave, stay and have fun, or stay but hate every minute.
I'll stay and hate every minute bit.
Yeah,
that was.
Yeah, you're right. So that was 48%. Stay and hate every minute.
It depends on the age of the kids as well. If you've got like young kids, you have to stay normally, but then you'd have to.
And then stay and have fun was 29%, and drop and leave was 23%. But I think, like you need to take into consideration the age of the child as well. But certainly most parties now that our eldest goes to, she's 9. I'd say a lot of them are drop and leave, or a lot are like pick them up as well. Yeah,
or we'll stay if we kind of like the people there and know the people.
Yeah.
Well,
that's rude. I stay at all the parties. I don't really care. I am actually in the stay and have fun category.
I know, because you love that sort of thing.
I do. I love watching the kids have fun. But do you know what I think it stems from?
With a glass of wine in your hand.
Well, if it's on offer, yeah. But when I was at uni, I worked at Roehampton Sports and Leisure Centre, right? And I was like the party coordinator. So the kids would come in and I'd do their parties.
That doesn't shock me at all.
Yeah. But so there was like options. You could do the soft play party, or you could have like a party in the hall, and then I'd like be the coordinator, you know, like be the fun coordinator. And I will never forget, this is actually really sad. And when I told my mum cried. My mum actually cried. So we had like a kid coming in for their birthday party, and the parents came in early, you know, did all the setup and stuff. And then like time was getting on and no one turned up. Not one kid turned up to this kid's birthday party.
I remember you telling me about that. That is absolutely brutal.
I mean, that is literally like a parent's worst nightmare, isn't it? You know, just for your child, like that child's...
You surely know if people are going to go. Like you have an inkling if like, say 20 people said they were going to go and nobody turned up. That's weird. But you have an inkling that maybe no one's replied here. Maybe no one is coming, you know.
Well, I don't, either way, I don't really know what happened because I didn't really want to talk about it with the parents in front of the child. But I just basically made this child have, and all the staff as well. I got some of the like personal trainers down from the gym, and I was getting people off reception. And I was like, basically, we just need to give this kid like the best party we absolutely can.
You absolutely saved it. I'd have gone, ta-da, right, this is... That's unfortunate.
That's cruel.
I'm not quick thinking like you on my feet where I'd be able to save it. I'd be like, well, it's just, you know, that's life.
But, you know, saying that though, that links too. So when you have a party now, so I'm quite a traditional invite girl. I will like send an invite if I can. WhatsApp invites I've done as well. But I just can't be on any more WhatsApp groups. You know, like these
just
people.
Put them on silent.
No, but I need to know if it's been invited to the party. I need to know the details
put the
of the
other
party.
ones on silent.
Yeah, I need to know the information, Dee. Like, someone in our house needs to know what's going on with the kids. But like, I don't know, a traditional invite is like a thing of the past now. Do people do those like evites or? But also, I just don't need another WhatsApp group. Like, I think if you invite someone to a party, like if you're going to make a WhatsApp group for a party, it should either be like a poll. You know, on WhatsApp now you can do like a poll.
You've done that, didn't you?
Yeah, so just do that. Or just be like, reply if you can't come. So then your phone isn't going off every 2 seconds being like,
I like paper invites, stick it on the fridge. You never forget, that type of thing. They're good for me.
Yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah, we like them on the fridge,
for mine where I forget everything, I feel like on the fridge is the way to go. Not that I have to remember kids' parties, because that's your...
Yeah, well, in our relationship, the mum arranges the parties, but I'm sure there's people out there where it's the other way around. No?
Probably not a high percentage.
Do you think?
Not taking them to the party.
No. Organising the party.
Organising it. Yeah. I'm sure there's a bit of a mix there, but actually taking the kid to the party when you've got the invitation on the fridge, remembering to go, that would be your gig in our house.
Yeah, but and then as well, you've got the drama like who to invite. You know, you don't want to offend anyone, or you know,
look, I'm not. Invite the whole class if that works, but I'm not.
That doesn't always work because a lot of these places you're limited to like 30 kids.
I think sometimes it's just if you like them, invite them. If you don't. Like that's part of life. That is part of growing up. That's part of.
Yeah.
That is part of it.
I know.
You know what I think about it. I think we're making them too soft as it is anyway, and that just kind of adds to it. I don't like leaving people out. If you just leave one person out of the class,
oh no,
that's not
brutal.
Right. But if you like invite like 10 people instead of 30, that's fine. They're your favourite people. That's fine. Some people can't afford to have 30 people at kids' party. They're not cheap, are they?
Absolutely not. And then you've got to like
depends how bothered you are either. Like they're hectic. Have we done it? Have we done the whole class?
Ruby literally just had one in February with the whole class. You attended it. Oh my God.
Was the whole class there?
Yeah, pretty much.
Can't remember what we done.
Dean, it was in February. We went to a gymnastics place and she had a gymnastics party.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You probably don't remember that one because I actually paid for it.
I think I was hungover.
Probably.
Yeah, anyway. No, I do remember that now. It's all coming back to me, yeah.
But my biggest bit of advice is as well, so the party we went to with Ruby, the one just gone, is the presents. Now, I am very thoughtful, I think, of what I would buy somebody else's child for a present, right? If you are one of those parents out there, okay, that buys, you know what I'm going to say, don't you, Dean?
Yeah, just don't buy them nightmare presents. Like Play-Doh. Sand, kinetic sand is one of the worst ones. Never do that.
No,
slime.
Yeah.
And what's that thing we bought? We had for Ruby the other day that went all over my dad. Flour.
Oh my God. So Ruby. Actually, do you know what? My sister bought this for Ruby.
Yeah, she always
and she hasn't got kids. So anyone who's it's a parenting podcast, I doubt there's people out there that don't, that are listening to this and don't have kids because we're parenting podcast. But if you are one of those people that buys a kid anything like that, like slime or whatever. No. So what my sister did, so my sister doesn't have children, my older sister, and she bought them make your own squishies, right? So I had Dean's parents over and we're like trying to cook a roast. And I knew when my sister bought this for Ruby, I was like, absolutely not. She is not like making this with me. So I'd managed to leave it a few days because I was like, we're not going to make it yet. No, not yet, Ruby, not yet. And I thought, oh, Dean's parents are here. Let's make the squishmallows.
Yeah, those mugs will make it.
God. What was it?
Dean's mum and dad will make it, yeah?
Yeah, basically. I was like, cheers, Sue and Tony, great. But so it was like balloons and you had to like fill them with flour. But to do that, you had to inflate the balloon and then get a bottle and then tip the flour in while the balloon was inflated and then deflate the balloon.
And the biggest problem was the rim wasn't big enough.
Oh, God.
No, yeah. No, it wasn't. It just wasn't. It wouldn't go round the tip properly.
You're just thinking the whole deep wrong.
But that is the truth.
It is. So my poor brother-in-law, my poor father-in-law has then gone to like the flowers in and we'd got it in the balloon, but then you had to deflate the balloon, but it didn't say anyway, you had to deflate the balloon slowly. So he's got it in front of him and he's deflating the balloon and all the flour has just poof, like gone literally all over him, all in his face, all up his nose, all in his eyes. And there's just like flour chaos all around the kitchen.
He took it so well though. I don't know if I would have taken it as well as that.
It was funny. It was. I mean, the kids were laughing. It was funny. I did actually get it on film as well. It was.
Yeah. So people
really
buying
funny.
presents like that, just why? Why would you do it?
Yeah, but also we're in a cost of living crisis, and genuinely, when it was Ruby's birthday, right, and people said to me, like, "Oh, what does Ruby want for her birthday?" Genuinely, I honestly don't want any more plastic crap in my house. I don't want slime. I don't want kinetic sands, and I don't want Play-Doh. And
I don't want any toys.
No, okay, well, I mean that's a bit extreme.
Not any toys.
No, but that's our job as her parents. We will buy her like the toys. We'll get that or whatever we need for the house. Genuinely, people asking me, and I was like, honestly, she loves marshmallows, and I never let her have them. Right? She would be so grateful to have like a bag of marshmallows. If you wrap that up and gave it to her, she'd be happy. Or
20 bags of marshmallows.
No, not 20 bags of marshmallows, but you know what I mean? Like, she doesn't have any concept of money, but I don't want people to feel pressure. Like, we're inviting you to a party. Come to the party, have a really good time. I don't expect you to buy, you know, a really thoughtful, expensive present for a 5-year-old. I just don't.
You're not judging when you open the present?
No, not at all. Absolutely not. Would you?
No. Oh. Maybe. No, I don't know. I wouldn't judge anyone. I wouldn't judge anyone. I'd be like, I don't know. Yeah, you might think, well, it's a bit tight, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't know. Because you feel the pressure then of like getting the present. Because I do feel a little bit of pressure when when I've got to go to a party and give the kid a present or whatever. I'm like, oh God, what do I get them? What do they like? I'm not quite sure. Especially, I find it really hard to buy for boys because I don't really know what boys like. You know? Anyway, but I think pressure in parties though has got out of control. Like, what happened to the days when you could just go to the local hall or even have it at your house, like play Duck, Duck, Goose, do a pass the parcel, play a bit of music, and then everyone went home?
Don't look good on Insta though, does it?
No. You've got to have like a bloody three-tier birthday
pass
cake,
the
balloons
parcel
everywhere.
does not cut it on TikTok these days. I'll tell you that. That does not cut it.
I know, but why? Like, parents aren't under enough pressure. Like, we are already under immense amounts of pressure and we're so busy. And then you got these like ridiculous wedding-like kids parties to try and keep up with. No, go down to Marks and Spencer's, get a Colin the Caterpillar cake, wrap up a pass the parcel, and just let the kids have fun. They don't need all this like fanciness.
They just want their friends there, don't they? That's all they want. Their friends there.
I think so. I wouldn't say we've ever done the girls any particularly extravagant parties, and I don't really think I will. Maybe like 16,
the one
18.
we went to the other day was cool. In a hall, entertainer.
The
that was all you needed.
Oh my God, he was worth his weight in gold for the money. He had those kids in the palm of his hand. That was brilliant. Yeah. And then you didn't have to lift a finger. You know, you could actually enjoy your child's party because the pressure's off.
I don't know how people can do that job, but fair play. I couldn't do it.
I could do it. I'd probably enjoy it. Party entertainer.
So enough about parties now. So recently we went to a fete that was going to be outside, wasn't it? Normally quite cool actually, but the weather was terrible. So it was rained off and they filmed it. They hosted it in a hall, which was...
I just feel really sorry for the organisers though. So like basically in the village that we live in, they'll like do this fete, and normally, you know, it's got rides, bouncy castles, all the kids get their faces painted, and it is, you know, it fills up the whole recreation ground. It is.
I still don't really enjoy going, but you always, these sort of things, you always have to get involved with and drag me along every single time. And this
You're
one,
their dad.
No, but I'm there 90% of the time. I don't need like this. And this one, it was rained off inside the hall. And I'm thinking to myself, I had the ump all morning knowing I was going to this thing. I knew what it was going to be like. We're in this hall. It was crammed with people. And it was just, I was thinking to myself, I didn't want to drink either, but I nearly got pushed to it. But I managed to not do that. It was just, not a bit of me at all.
God, you literally sound like Victor Meldrew there. Jesus. Well, we went, though. The kids were really excited about the fete. We gave them a little, like, £10 each for the little village fete. And then we went in, and straight away, obviously, Ruby's 5, Daisy's 9, and they wanted to go in, like, complete different directions. So I'm being really chilled in the fete. It was busy, but I'm just like, you know, it's all right.
Chilled? You were hang on. No. You were sitting down in the corner doing some colouring while I had to queue up for these tickets for these, like, mouldy old...
It was the teddy bear raffle.
Yeah, but they were all dirty. They needed a good wash, didn't they? And then Daisy was desperate for one. So I'm in this queue. Again, it's all crammed up, and the bird, she's lovely, but she was taking so long chatting to everybody who bought a ticket. I'm thinking, I just want one raffle ticket here. I'm sweating my nuts off. Hurry up. And then when we got to the front, she started talking to Daisy fresh. I'm like, no, I just want a ticket.
So unbeknown to Dean, while he was doing this with Daisy, I spotted him. So I'm like on a little colouring store with Ruby. We're like fabric colouring in a bag. We're having a lovely time. I look over at Dean, and he honestly, if I don't like you, if you had a smoke coming out your ears, you would have
I was proper holding that back. Like I really felt like walking off. Like I was, inside. I just had the ump anyway, and I just felt like walking off. I was like, just look, don't make a fool of yourself here. Just.
So I decided to film Dean in the midst of his like mood, because I found it really funny. Like I was like, just regulate yourself, sort your life out. Like it's not that.
You actually
bad.
said that to me. Regulate your emotions. And I was thinking to myself, you saying that to me is not going to regulate my emotions. That's going to heighten them.
Note to point, don't use school phrases on your husband. It doesn't work.
Yeah. Like talk to him like a 5-year-old.
But anyway, I filmed it and uploaded it. And that brings us so nicely into...
Wanker of the week. So this is the part of the podcast where we expose some of the trolling we've experienced on our social media. So as Sara said, she filmed me, and there was there's one comment on there, wasn't there, that took my eye, let's say.
Oh my God. I mean, somebody commented, because I actually thought you looked quite hot in the video. I'm
So
not
did
going
I.
to lie. Yeah.
It was a good angle.
Did you?
Yeah. Sometimes I look at a video, I'm like, oh my God, I look horrific. But that one, I thought, all right, she's got a good angle there. But
yeah. Anyway, I thought you look hot, babe. I think you look hot today.
Thanks.
But anyway, so somebody commented saying, what a miserable looking creature. I mean, who is that to say that about you?
It was perfect as well.
Creature.
It was perfect. So I clicked on her profile and she had a cat in the profile picture, just a cat, and the cat looked miserable. So I was like, I've got the perfect comeback. So I just replied saying, a bit like your cat. And I get so much stick from people with cats in their profile pictures. Not cat lovers, but people with cats in their profile pictures in general. Like if I get a really nasty comment and I click on it, I don't know what it is. I just don't know what it is.
They have a cat as their profile picture, not themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and those it's those people that
to call you a miserable looking creature, like at least be like miserable looking human. Do you know what I mean? Like you're not a creature.
Where does the anger come from? Because obviously
why
behind that comment is just so much anger. Is it like the cat's like bitten her or something? I don't know. But I had a cat when I was a kid, and all it did was scratch the life out of me. Like you couldn't even touch it. So maybe she had a cat like that and it just scratched her or something. She thought, I'll just take it on this poor geezer on the internet.
Like, I mean, I know we normally have one wanker a week, but on the same video, somebody commented as well, you chose this life. And you know, we're a bit like, well, no, actually. Like,
I didn't choose to come to this bloody...
You chose this life.
Hang on, I didn't choose this bloody fate. I was dragged along. And I was dragged along.
Even I though, I was a bit disappointed that it wasn't, outside in the sun and it was raining and it was in that cramped hall. I'm sure everyone was disappointed.
You were still like walking around with this big smile on your face the whole time, making me look even more miserable.
God, you've been really negative today, Dean. Glass half full, not half empty.
I told you on the way up here I was in one of those...
I mean, I'd love to say one week, I'd be like, oh, we don't have a wanker of the week this week. But I just don't think it's going to happen.
I've got plenty lined up.
Oh, have you? Okay, right, all right. Well, we'll look forward to that next week then. Get a good
Plenty of them lined up, yeah.
This week, I also did have a little bit of a parenting fail, and I think it might have been my fault. I mean, it wasn't necessarily...
Your fault.
Yeah, my fault. So basically, the school, I don't obviously do the school run very often. We've talked about that before, working mum life. And so my mum keeps picking the kids up from school, and the teacher keeps saying to her on occasions, oh, like, Ruby didn't have a water bottle today. Ruby didn't have a water bottle today. Because she's only got one water bottle, hasn't she? And I'm not blaming anyone, but Dean does the mornings. Anyway.
But don't they give them cups of water at school?
I don't know. It's just easier for them to have a water bottle.
They always say, where's my water bottle? And I'm like, I have no idea. I'm not looking around this whole house's water bottle. I'm just like, they just give it you do at school. And they won't they're not going to let them dehydrate.
Well, anyway, so it must be an inconvenience, basically, for Ruby not to have a water bottle because they keep mentioning it to my mum. So anyway, so I was like, right, we'll go to Asda and I'll get some more water
Inconvenience for them to turn the tap.
Stop it. Teachers are very busy, you know. God, you're neggy today. He's on what he's. You know what he said to me before the podcast? He went to me, oh, I'm in a really bad mood today. I was like, great, can't wait to spend the next hour chatting with you. Anyway, so I picked Ruby up from my mum's. It was about 5:30. We went to Asda, got the girls some new water bottles, got home about 6:15. But what does a child do when they have a new water bottle? They drink out of it. So what had she done the whole hour leading up to bedtime?
You mean they use it for its purpose?
Yeah. But I was just anyway, 5 o'clock in the morning, here she comes into the bed. Mum, I've wet the bed. Brilliant. Great. But I have to take the blame on that one.
I know. She has done that a couple of times recently, hasn't she?
Brilliant. Just love it. You know, love waking up in the middle of the night and going downstairs and washing the sheets. Anyway.
She actually done it a little bit the other night, but it was only like a little dribble. Well, so I thought I shouldn't really be saying it.
What?
It was just like a little dribble on there, and I thought,
So you took the sheets off, stripped the bed, put them in the washing machine and washed the sheets?
Didn't think they were wet enough.
So what did you do?
Just let it dry.
Oh
And the worst thing about it was I got in bed with her and I just sort of slept around it.
I don't have the words for that. You are disgusting.
You're sort of in the middle of us. It was about 3 a.m. I thought, oh, God almighty, I can't do this now. I just can't do it. And it was only like a tiny little patch. And then I woke up in the morning, it was kind of sort of dried out. So
okay, this is too far now, Maracas. Stop. Oh my God. I need a minute to process that. I mean, we're talking about parenting fails. Okay. Just breathe, Sara. Just deal with that at home. You don't need to talk about that.
Yeah, she doesn't know about that. I've just sort of let her know now.
Okay. Anyway, parenting fails. Right. So it's got me thinking recently about parenting fails. And I know that we've got a few. And I just want to I'm hoping people can make us feel better about ours. And then I'm hoping we can make you feel better about yours as well. But I recall one particular parent fail, which ended up in the police being called. Nadine, I feel like you should share the beginning of this parenting fail because I do believe that most of the fail is on you.
Okay, so I was in the front mowing the lawn, wasn't I? Just nice summer's day, having a bit of a relax.
Yeah, so we got a little bit of patch of grass out the front.
Takes about 10 minutes. But the side door was open, wasn't it? Because I had to wheel the lawnmower through. Side gate, yeah. So I had to wheel the lawnmower through. And then I don't know where you were. Apparently you were in the toilet, weren't you?
Yeah.
And then I came back in. No, did you come out to me or whatever?
No. No. He's rubbish at telling stories. Right. You had the side gate open and you had the front door open and both the kids were in the house.
Yeah.
Right. And I remember sitting on the toilet thinking, oh, I can hear him cutting the grass out the front. And I remember thinking in my head, oh, I hope he's closed the side gate. Dean, had you closed the side gate?
No.
Dean, had you closed the front door?
No.
And where were your children?
In the house.
And then I basically came out the toilet. I thought, and he had, I think he was strimming actually, because you had ear defenders on as well. And I think he was strimming because I think you had ear defenders and the goggles on. So I think he was strimming too. So you really wouldn't have been able to hear.
Yeah,
anyway, I come out the toilet and I'll go to Daisy, oh, where's your sister? Don't know. I was like, okay. So I'm like looking around the house for her. And I'm like, I actually can't find her. I don't know where she is. And I'm not going to lie, my heart was in my throat.
You came out to me and you went, is Ruby out here? And I went, no, I haven't seen her. She's in there with you. So then we went back in, didn't we? We're like, Ruby, where are you? And at this point, she's not replying anywhere, running around the house, looking all the rooms quickly. And at this point, more and more panicking, aren't we? Big time. Like I'm like thinking the worst. Side gate was open, front door was open. Then I asked the girl outside, have you seen like a little girl run past? And she went, yeah, up there.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh my God. So I ran up the street. And there was no little girl anywhere. And now I've just gone into full panic mode, like straight away, really. I'm so bad under this situation, aren't I? And I think I've already got like, the panic. And I'm like running in people's like front gardens. And at this point, it really escalates really quickly, doesn't it?
Yeah, so then I'm looking in the house and I'm panicking. And then slowly neighbours are like starting to come out or see what's going on. And I just remember being like, we've lost Ruby. Ruby's not here. Ruby's gone. And I was thinking, well, she kind of got far because I think at the time she was 2, wasn't she?
2, yeah.
Yeah. So
I thought she'd like run into someone's. My immediate thought run into someone's garden and had like an accident. Like I don't know. Like
why would you think that?
I just went straight to. I know what my mind works. I just go straight to worst case scenario, and then I'm thinking about her being abducted. All these thoughts are coming into my mind, and I'm like, this is it.
Whereas I've gone into like practical mode. So bless one of our neighbours. I mean, she's in my house. We're both in my house, and she was so good.
I was being practical because I was running.
You were running up the road, but there's no.
Let me get. I was running up the road screaming Ruby at the top of my voice, like literally screaming it, and everyone came out their houses. I mean, I don't know, 50 people at least must have come out. I don't know.
They were so good. We lived down a lovely road, didn't we? Like in terms of like everyone coming together. But anyway, so one of the neighbours is in my house, and I'm not joking, this woman, she was so good, but she's got kids herself as well. So she's in my house, and
What are you doing in the house having a cup of tea? I'm looking for up the road.
So we're going in the wardrobes, and she's taking the covers off the bed. Like she's thinking absolutely anywhere now that Ruby could be, right? And poor Daisy's crying on the phone to my mum, being like, we've lost Ruby. Ruby's gone. So I'm like, oh God, why did you? And I just turned around to him like, why did you ring Nanny? Anyway, so I've gone back outside to find Dean, and I'm like looking for him, and he is, I mean, we can laugh about him now. Dean is on the floor in the street crying.
In the middle of the road.
Didn't we
get the police to shut off the roads as well, didn't we?
Yeah, so what I've done is, I've rung I just thought, well, she's not here. I was like, and my immediate thought was, she's been taken. And I remember going outside and looking at Dean just to check if anyone had like found her or whatever. And I've gone up and the neighbours are all being good. They're like, what's she wearing? And like, everyone's going around the wreck and everyone's like, we were looking for her. And then I've just looked at Dean.
People are consoling me, not looking for Ruby.
Dean crying in the road, and I've just looked at him and I've been like, crying isn't going to help anything. You need to stop. Get up. And then I just went down the road on my own and I just rang the police and I was like, I think my child's gone. They were like, what? I was like, yeah. And then they were really good. They were on the phone. They were like, right, tell us where you live. Tell us where the roads. And the police come and they've like blocked off, because we live in like a little village. There's only one road that you can actually go to get in the village. So they've like blocked off the road. They're getting a description. Like all of these things are happening. And I take them in the house. Ruby just walks out.
Oh, no, but I'm at the top of the road, like on my knees crying, and people are cuddling me, and then I start walking back to the house. I'm not given up, but I'm just like, well, look, she's not here. We need to like reassess this. So I'm walking back down the road, and all I hear is, she's here. And I'm like, what? And then she's literally just walked out of the front door of our house.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds like but I was like, the relief that went through me was unbelievable.
But even to this day, and
don't know where she was.
We don't know where she was. So I'd searched, I'd been in the garden, I'd searched the shed. Honestly, me and my neighbour and Daisy, we had literally turned the house upside down. She was not in that house. And the only thing I can think of was this happening about March time. And the kids got like one of those TP climbing frames for Christmas. And it's got a little kind of house thing at the top, isn't it? The only place I didn't look was there. So I just think, could she have been in there?
Best at hide and seek ever. She's the best at hide and seek ever.
That was like the ultimate.
Remember what the policeman said as well? Remember what the policeman said?
No.
It's a bit like losing your phone, where you panic and realise you've got it. And I'm like, What? Just like, if I wasn't so like relieved that I found my daughter, I'd have probably just got done with GVH on the policeman or something. Losing your phone.
It's not the same as losing your child.
I mean, yeah, you're a bit pissed off when you lose your phone and maybe a bit worried, but this is sheer horror that's going through your mind. Like, I've never been through anything that's more scary. And like, yeah. But we just say it's just sat next to each other, just looking at each other, didn't we?
I was like a bit shell shocked for a bit. Bless her, she had no idea. She was just like, ha.
I know.
Oh, I love her. But I would just like to say that was our first parenting fail. And I feel like that is quite a big one. But can I just remind everybody, I was actually on the toilet. That was not me.
I was cutting the grass.
Yeah, you don't leave the side gate and the front door open. There you go, learn from us. Don't do that.
Well, no,
but
it wasn't. She was in the house. She went out. She didn't go out past me.
Daisy. We have a parenting fail with Daisy as well. And the parenting fail with Daisy, you'll remember, we lived in our old house, and she was only about 8-9 months old. I think 'cause it was just after her christening.
Crawling, I think, or just walking, maybe.
Yeah, they walked early, both the girls, didn't they? So I think, yeah. So yeah, she must have been about 9 months. So we had got Daisy christened, and then one of our friends popped round a few days after the christening to bring round a present. Just at the same time that I had an order for Boohoo sent. So I'm really excited. And I just think I'll leave Dean and his mate in the lounge. Like, I think it was Colin, wasn't it? Big up the Cole. So you were in the lounge with Cole and they were opening this christening present. And I was just so excited to get my Boohoo haul that I went into the bedroom and started trying on clothes. And we were going to Ibiza. So they were quite like ravey clothes back then. Anyway, so I'm trying on these clothes. And then
non-mumsy, those clothes.
No, they weren't. I think most of them went back, to be honest. And then Dean basically just comes running into me with Daisy.
No.
Cole had gone. So
Cole had gone.
Yeah.
And then I'd walked out to like look at one of your outfits because you wanted me to assess it. Not that you care what I think anyway of it. But and then like Daisy's like doing this semi-choke, isn't she? Like, and
she was choking.
Yeah, no, but like a really like. We wasn't really sure at the first. Her face went a bit funny. And then we're like, what's that? And then she went in full scale, like choke, didn't she?
Yeah.
Really quickly.
And it was how long, and I'm going to Dean, what has she got in her mouth? What has she got? And he's like, I don't know. And I was like, well, go and check the lounge, check the floor. And once again, just straight from naught to panic mode for Dean.
Crying that time again, yeah.
Yeah, but to be fair, choking is a real
scary,
big,
really
scary thing with children. It's probably my biggest fear with the kids. Like, I know you're the same. You still chop blueberries in half and stuff, don't you?
And quarters, if I do quarters and do grapes, I hate grapes. Yeah, I can't stand that.
But my biggest concern at the time was what is in her mouth? What is she choking on? Because obviously I've had lots of first aid training from being at work and I kind of wanted to know what it was, but we didn't know what it was. Anyway, so it's going on and she's been choking now for quite a while.
Started going blue, didn't she?
Not blue. It wasn't really blue at that point. Her face was just a little bit, her colour was changing. So I've just turned to Dean and I've looked at him and I've just said, look, you need to call an ambulance. This is beyond me. So I'm doing all the back slaps and I'm doing everything you need to do. And I looked at Dean and I was like, this is beyond me. You need to call an ambulance. At which point, what did you do, Dean?
I called an ambulance.
And then what did you do?
Cried.
No, where were you?
Out in the front.
Yeah, you ran down the stairs. We lived in a masonette. You ran down.
Signal. No, outside I had to get signal. I was worried I couldn't get signal, so I ran out to the front 909. And I'm like, don't know.
You went down the road.
I thought that'd make it come quicker. So I feel I run towards the ambulance, to hurry it up. But it was really quick, wasn't it?
So quick. We were so lucky. But then as the ambulance pulled up, I've walked down the stairs and she's like still choking. And basically she vomits. And I was like, pushed her like forward to let it come out. And I've just looked in her mouth and I've put my finger in it and I've fished the sellotape from the present that Dean's friend brought round, like probably about 2 inches long.
Guess who got the blame for that?
Yeah, I fished the sellotape out of her mouth and I was like, it's the I mean, not at that point. Obviously, I soothed Daisy first because obviously she was in a panic as well. And I've just looked at him and I was like, it's the sellotape from the present. So, and actually, out of things to choke on, he said it wasn't that bad because it was like flapping in her.
Yeah, I don't think it would have. I think there would have. Yeah, there's still airway there.
Yeah, but it was so frightening, so scary. So yeah, sellotape. Who'd have thought? Hey, they put anything in their mouths at that age, don't they?
Oh no.
So frightening. But again,
thankfully I was kind of past that. But grapes, never give them whole.
No.
Not even to my 9-year-old. not happening. And I just don't really like grapes, but I do cut that stuff up. Just never know if they're running around, you know.
But I think as well, what I've taken from the scenarios and the situations here was actually, I do think that the paediatric first aid training that I've had, so as part of my job role, it has to be renewed. I think it's every 3 years I have to have this training. And I find that just so important.
Yeah, if you weren't there with that Daisy situation, I have absolutely no idea what would have happened.
Really?
Like, on my own, yeah, I have no idea.
Do you not think you'd have kicked in?
may have, but I have no idea. And I probably whacked her on the back, but that's like probably not the right. I don't know. I don't know exactly where to hit, how hard to hit.
I mean, I was thinking it might be really good because I don't know if schools take the responsibility to do it, or nurseries, or the parenting classes that people do, like paediatric first aid training. I actually think that should be a must for all parents. And I can't believe that our children, we've had these situations, we've allowed them to get, like Daisy will be 10 this year, without you having it. Because I do think in these situations, in these crises, I would generally know what to do, and you wouldn't. So
call an ambulance if I was there. But yeah, that would have been miles worse, I think.
But an ambulance can't always be there and can't always come. So would you be up for going on a first aid course?
Yeah.
Do you mean that?
Yeah.
Okay. I think you should do it. I think it'd be a really interesting thing to come back and see now.
How many days is it?
I think mine was 2 days, but you could do it in a day. There's just basically though, I mean, there's one more situation that I do feel again that we can learn from, and I certainly have learnt from, and I know that now if it was happened to again that you would be in a better situation. And it actually happened at our caravan, and since it's made me really paranoid about being remote at the caravan. So our caravan is in South Wales, and it's quite remote where it is, isn't it? It's very much like off the beaten track. And if anything does happen, if there's an emergency,
everybody knows everybody there.
Everybody does know everybody there, but that's fine. Anyway, so I was in the shower this time. There's like a running theme here, Dean. I'm never around when these accidents happen.
No. You'd be looking after your kids better, that's why.
Oh, I'm sorry, I can't have a shower. So I'd been in the shower, and Ruby was in the shower.
I'm outside mowing the lawn. I expect someone in the house looking after him, not having to go to the toilet.
You were about to say having a dump then, weren't you?
Yeah, I was.
Oh, for God's sake. God's sake. Anyway, so we're at the caravan. I'm in the shower, and I've gone to Dean. Oh, come and get Ruby out the shower because I want to do my own shampoo and conditioner now. Anyway, so I've got the shampoo or whatever and conditioner on my head, and I just hear absolute chaos from going outside, and I can hear Dean crying, Daisy crying.
No, I wasn't crying this time.
You did cry. You took Daisy in the bedroom and started crying. When I came out the shower, you were not consoling Ruby.
There may have been some tears in my eyes, but I'm not sure they were streaming this time. This one was a little bit, I was still, bad. But
I just get out the shower, and I've still literally got like the shampoo and conditioner on my head. And I go in and I just see my mum, and she's just got Ruby, and there's like a beige towel on Ruby's head, and it's just covered in blood. And I was like, oh no, my baby, what's happened? And my mum just looked at me, and my mum just went, yeah, she's, you need to take her to hospital. And I was like, oh, poor darling, what's happened? And what had happened was, at the caravan, the door latch? So it's like the latch that comes in and out the door.
No, it wasn't, just the corner of the door.
No, it wasn't. It was the latch, definitely.
Okay.
It was the latch, definitely, because it was metal. And
you were in the shower.
No, it was definitely the latch. You could tell from where the blood was, because my mum had to clear it up. Sorry if this is really a bit graphic for anybody out there.
Yeah.
Just like to put that out there. But I won't go into too much detail. But basically, she'd cut her head on her forehead and needed.
It's just being so remote with that one, wasn't it?
It was, and I think I'd kind of almost panicked in that situation, but didn't. But then, really schoolboy error as well. If you're going on a caravan holiday, like I've definitely learned so much from this situation. So at that time, we were in my parents' caravan, and they didn't have a first aid box, like what I needed to wrap up her head with. I needed like a bandage. So we contacted one of my mum's friends really quickly, and then she brought hers over. And like really, really quickly, we'd wrapped Ruby's head up, and we were, on our way off.
Without that, it'd have been
hospital. But I just remember, the worst bit about it for me was so my mum's got Ruby in the bedroom, and obviously, in that situation, who do you want? You want your mum, don't you? and she wants her parents. So again, I've told Dean to come out of the bedroom, man up, because Ruby, oh bless Daisy. In the meantime, Daisy's going, Ruby's broken her head. Ruby's broken her head. And Daisy was really worried for her little sister as well. So obviously at this point, I've just come out the shower. I am still naked. So anyway, so I made Dean come in the bedroom. I was like, Dean, just take her. She just wants to be cuddled. Just keep that on her head and we'll take her. So obviously I need to get some clothes on, but we're in a bloody caravan, right? So I've stood like on the bed, like to go in a cupboard to reach to get my trousers. At which point, so I'm standing on a caravan bed with my naked body to the door and I'm trying to reach in the cupboards to get my clothes. Who's walked in to try and see if they can help? My dad. And he's had full view of my naked body in his face. And
I don't think anyone cared at that point in time.
I know, but bless him, he walked in to try and help and he was just like, oh, and then just walked straight out again. Oh, it's mortifying. But
we're going to sound like neglected our kids with these stories. I mean,
no, but the thing is, no, we haven't neglected them. Accidents do happen and things happen. And that was just a freak accident in the caravan with a door. Like, and, these things do happen. But definitely what I've taken for it and what I've learned from it now is, keep that. You never know when something's going to happen, what something's going to happen. Kids are kids. You could watch them 24/7 and wrap them in bubble wrap. They'd still find a way of hurting themselves. But definitely what I've learned from it is that at the caravan now in ours, I've got the most well-equipped first aid box you ever did see. I keep emergency stuff in the car.
The worst equipped husband, though.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what to do with any of it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, do the paediatric first aid course, and then in those scenarios and in these situations, you will be more equipped to help. Yeah. I think.
Yeah, and make me more confident as well.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think you really should do it, and I think you should come back and like feed back. Oh, do you know what? Actually, that has really helped me.
Yeah. All right, let's do it.
Let's do it. I'm gonna add
me in.
I'll book you in.
If you book me in, I'll do it. That's
yeah.
Trigger the mind.
I do wonder though if anyone is that a thing? Do parents do that? Have we just missed that? Is it a thing or should it be a thing? That's my question.
Yeah, you've had it through teaching though, haven't you? Like, very lucky with that. I guess I'm very lucky to have you saving my kids' lives a week after.
That's a bit dramatic, Dean. They were fine. Oh, by the way, Ruby was fine. They wanted to stitch it, but in the end, I managed to convince them to glue it because
not ruin our holiday. God.
No, not ruining the holiday. Just I thought for her it'd be less intrusive to have it.
Remember, she couldn't go in the sea and that after going down the beach.
She was devastated.
Yeah, no, but we were like overly pampering a bit. I think like.
No, I don't think so.
Did we take her down there?
Yeah, she went down the beach, but I just didn't want to get sand. I think it was like 40 hours we left it till she could get sand in it and stuff. But she had it. She had it glued and they put steri strips on it and they were brilliant actually in the hospital. And we had Nurse Paula. I mean, I don't think Nurse Paula will ever listen to this, but Nurse Paula, if you're working in the hospital that you went to, can't remember what it was called, the Prince of Philip, that's it, and near Llanelli in Wales. And she was so good with Ruby. Like, hats off to anyone that works with children in those emergency situations when they're so upset.
Yeah, because she went in there. She went in there like absolutely distraught and devastated. Ruby did, and she came out of there absolutely buzzing. She had like the teddy bear. She like loved the whole experience.
Yeah.
They literally like twisted it on its head with how good it was, wasn't it?
As we were leaving, like I guess the A&E ward or whatever it was, as we were leaving, she turned around and she went, "I love you, Nurse Paula." And like you just heard everyone in the whole hospital just turn around and go, "Oh," it was so sweet. I think, Dean, I'm not going to lie, it is sunny outside for once. I would like to go out into the sunshine.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That would be nice. So at that point, I think we're going to love you and leave you. But once again, thank you for taking the time to listen to our podcast. And thank you to anyone who has, reached out and messaged us or left a review. It's great to hear what you all think.
So let us know if there are any particular topics you would be interested in hearing us discuss. It's amazing how many of you reach out and message us. It's lovely to know there are parents out there feeling the way we do. And also just released some Father's Day gifts on Fun Dad Dean's store. So get over there and buy your fella a nice Father's Day gift that he deserves. Thank you. So this week in the podcast, we discuss our worst parenting fails. So to make us feel a lot better, please put in the comments below your worst parenting fails and we will feature them on the best ones or the worst ones on the next podcast.